Hey, this is Verlaine Hell and
George Cintron.
And Rockin' Robin, DJ Rockin' Robin, and I'm here with George Cintron at 89 North in Patchogue, and we are standing right underneath a wonderful picture of George and Dee Snider. Tell us what you remember about this picture, if you remember anything, George.
The picture I remember. That was a benefit, and it was very impromptu. I just kind of went up and played because there was a whole bunch of people playing from all different bands, different times, rehearse or anything like that. We just went up and played. So he did several songs with us actually. Felix Hanneman was there, Tony Catania from Jason Bonham's band.
Very nice. And this was about how long ago?
I'm thinking about 4 years ago.
Can you tell us about the first time that you met Dee in the making of those WBAB albums?
The first time I met Dee Snider was at a place called The Factory in Staten Island. And my band Tattoo at the time opened for Twisted Sister.
Was Dee Snider, was he signed at that time?
No.
So this is late 70s, early 80s?
1980.
So how did you first get on the BAB albums? Was it because of Bob Bachman?
Yes. Almost everything that happened at BAB was about he used to be involved in the club scene a lot in those days. So they had to put a compilation together. So he asked everybody pretty much individually. So he knew him.
Did you grow up on Long Island showing the world that you love rock and roll?
I did. Be sure.
So was Tattoo your first band?
Yes. That was the first one.
We always like to ask artists what some of their favorite artists are and who they're influenced by.
That's a long list. In the early days, it was Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Queen, those kind of groups. The guitar, all the guitar players, everybody would tell you. Jeff Beck, Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, all of them. We're all the same.
Oh, wait a minute, Robin. He didn't mention Alex Lifeson.
Oh, Alex Lifeson was way later. For me, anyway.
How many of these artists did you actually play with? Because it seems like every time you turn around, George Cintron is playing with a band that is a world-renowned band. So can you just tell us a couple of those bands and some of the ones that you were maybe a little starstruck when you first played with them, if you were?
Oh, I definitely was. I'm trying to remember, though. The way the band thing came up is when you've been around as long as I have, you kind of knew some of them before they even made it, before they got signed. So you were playing with them before anybody even knew, so it wasn't that unusual. But, you play with certain people. The one I was most scared was, I did a thing with Leslie West, and that was nerve-wracking. In New York City, it was the original thing, and it was interesting. It was different than the clubs. So, everybody else, you just kind of know them. It's kind of like work. You show up for work and you work, and you know everybody. But the first time you meet almost anybody, you're right.
Was your family always supportive of your career?
After a while, yeah.
So at what age did you start your first band?
17. Yeah. 17.
All right, tell us a little bit about how you first put a band together.
My friend Matt was in my music class in 11th grade, and he turned to me and said, "You're going to be in my band." And I went, "Okay." And that's how I got in my first band. There's nothing more to it. I didn't know what we were going to play, who was going to do anything, singing or anything. It didn't matter. And he said, "You're going to be in my band," and I said, "Let's go." Simple as that.
And how did you pick up the guitar the first time, and why did you pick it up?
Guitar is... My grandfather played the guitar, so there was always a guitar. I think I had a guitar from a little baby.
Yeah.
Since we're DJs, we always like to ask people if they have favorite albums that they can play over and over again without getting tired of them. Any favorites?
Yes. I have a couple. Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsies. Van Halen 1, and Moving Pictures.
Have you ever been to the spot where the album cover is photographed up in Toronto?
No,
All right, well, I have a treat for you. I mean, I've been there, but I also want to extend a little invitation to you. If you're a Rush fan, I happen to know the man who purchased what remains of Le Studio up in Morin Heights, Quebec. A lot of the media outlets were sort of incorrectly reporting that the studio was a total loss after the fire, and that's not actually true. The part that remains is the building that was the recording studio, where if anybody who's ever seen the video for Tom Sawyer, you know, those windows are where Neil had his drum kit set up.
or where the dog was.
Exactly, you see the dog in the beginning of the video. Yeah, I drove there. It's about 9 hours from here. It's doable. My friend's name is Benedict Yasik. It's going to be renamed Mystic Studios under the partnership of Black Sheep Productions, or because it's in the French-Canadian part, Mouton Noir for Black Sheep. So my high school French comes in handy.
It sure does.
So can you tell us a little bit about the set or how this was put together?
I'm just a guest today, so I don't really know how this is going to be put together. I'm playing with Swiftcake.
Did you play the Mad Hatter back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the club scene, because Robin and I, of course, were too young at the time.
We were just in the playpen.
Yes.
And they changed. I mean, quite honestly, they did change the drinking age in the mid '80s. So
And that was the not instant death, but the death of the clubs. But anyway, before that, there was a lot of clubs around, and bands like Twisted Sister and Equinox and Swiftcake and all these bands here today, they could go out and make a living playing bars, 4 or 5 nights a week. And when we got old enough ourselves, we were able to get on to the same platform as these guys, and we had a really good run. It was a fun time. It was a lot of bands, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of fun.
And where did you see the change where that scene sort of, became something different?
As soon as the drinking age changed, you could see it one day to the next.
Wow. One day to the next.
Anything you want to add about the recording of those albums and how they changed the direction of your career?
I honestly don't remember much about the actual. We recorded our song for our own record, so we just submitted it to the BAB.
Oh, I gotcha.
How this all came about.
Well, see, because maybe some of our viewers don't realize that this is back in the dinosaur age. Not to be rude to anybody, but we didn't have the internet back then. You didn't have instant access to music. So you sort of counted on your favorite local DJs to tell you about the scene, to tell you about the albums, to tell you about what bands were hot. Would you like to make a comment on the music industry as far as that's concerned?
Well, I don't know much about the music industry these days. I honestly don't. But I know that BAB back in our day was very influential in getting everybody organized.
All right, it looks like we're going to take a little break here. Thank you.